Hey, this is Charlie Benante with Anthrax, and you are listening to the Shout It Out Loudcast with Tom and Zeus. Wow.
Hey, what's up there, Kiss Army? Tom and Zeus with another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast. Not the Shout It Out Loudcast. Not Shout It Out Loud. Shout It Out Loudcast.
We're just going to change our name. Everything's changing next year. Everything. The show, the logo, everything. Fuck it.
The host.
Yeah, the hosts. The whole thing's changing. It's gone.
Episode 146. Freedom the Rock Tour.
Hooray. Dude, I'm just excited right now because now we are officially into counting days to the cruise. Not months, not weeks.
We can't, yeah.
Days. Days now. Yep.
Yeah. Another tour episode.
Yes.
And one that we went to, which is always nice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Good time.
Yeah. So let's take a look at what we did last week, Tom, and how the poll came in first.
All right. So we did Breaking the Band, the original series on the Reels channel, RERIZZO. REELZ channel. We did the Kiss episode hosted by the great D. Snyder, who was pretty cool. He retweeted our episode. That was kind of cool. So the poll this was like open season here. Tons of comments, of course, but we decided to throw it out there. What do you think contributed most to the eventual breakup of the original four? And again, the Ace cult comes out. This is beautiful here. So your options were Peter's drug use or ego, Ace's drinking and attitude, the solo albums, or Paul and Gene's overall feelings towards Ace and Peter. Of course, Paul and Gene's feelings towards Ace and Peter won with 48%. Then Peter's drug use and ego was close behind at 35%. Solo albums at 9%. Guess what came in last? Ace's drinking and his attitude, 8%. Ace called, it wasn't Ace's fault. Ace didn't have anything to do with the breakup. Oh, it's Ace. It's Peter. Peter got 35%. Ace got 8. Oh, love you guys, but come on, man. I'm just going to try to fly through some comments here because we got a ton. This could have been an entire episode, which maybe it will be. Agent Provocateur says, I think we have a good question, but wrong answers. Beth is the reason. It fueled Peter's ego and substance abuse issues, which ultimately worked towards extreme animosity. Ace stuck around a while. Okay.
Thanks, Paul Stanley, for that answer.
Yeah, exactly. Uncle Paulie, I'm thinking after a few years, Gene and Paul seem to be working the hardest for the band. I'm sure they got tired of splitting everything 4 ways and equally decided to separate from rock stars to businessmen. I wouldn't blame them if that was the case. I would do the same. Oh, and here we go. Vincent, don't call me Roman Maroney is back to comment. It was both Peter and Ace's issues, but if Peter had been able to stay and get himself together, Ace might have not been next. But I think the musical direction of Unmasked and Elder contributed to Ace jumping ship. All right, that's a good one. Party Man, Paul's jealousy towards both of them. Ace, because he was the better musician, had the best solo album and hit song. And Peter, because of the success he had with Beth. Paul certainly is not the nice guy he always pretends to be. Ooh. Let's see here. Dave G. Both Peter and Ace's contribution to the breakup were the reason for these departures from Kiss. Peter wanted to get married to pursue other things, and Ace wasn't happy for the band's direction. I don't know if that's why Peter left. But Brian Crizel, I feel the solo albums led to a lot of it. Once Ace outsold the 2 biggest egos, it was a vendetta. Ooh. Sean Grief, it's a tie. The first 2, Ace and Peter, drugs and booze. Mike Reese, both Ace and Peter dug the holes they put themselves in then and now. You can do little to no work or effort and expect to be treated equal. I know you guys shit. This is great. I know you guys shit on Paul sometimes.
We do?
No. But he has been the only one who hasn't let Kiss fall by the wayside for something else. Yeah, we acknowledge that. Both things are true. We shit on Paul, and we're glad he's around to save the band. Let's see. Brian Strutter. Where's Ace and Peter's substance abuse and attitude? That's the answer. No opinions necessary. And then somebody goes, well, your opinion seems to be all important. Brian Matwa. Ace was a classic drunk. That made him better. Oh, boy. JC, instead of Mr. Speed, they should have called it Mr. Sensitive. Paul can never let anything go. Go ride your dumb bike and tell us how we should live our lives. And then Brian Strutter commented, you go work with a lazy drunk and an angry cokehead and come back and tell me it's great. Oh, see, that's when the comments started to go off the rails, which is what we like. So thank you for that. Then we'll get into a few episode-specific comments here from the Breaking the Band thing. I almost said Breaking Bad. Sean Hammond, great episode. I love the cheap behind-the-music type documentaries. A few photos that are rotated and one-line voice clips from ancient interviews. Good times. Yeah, that is true. And then JR posts a video of Ace saying, where's my mellow yellow?
Mellow Yellow is now going to be the official sponsor of Shout It Out Loud.
I hope that's on the cruise. I hope they have, give me a mellow yellow. And if you're out of that, give me a fountain cola.
Do you guys have any fucking tab?
I'm looking for Fanta grape. I Love Rich says, I love Breaking the Band. The Kiss episode was probably my favorite. It's objectively terrible TV, but it's still good, mindless TV for the times at which you need it. The reenactments are hilariously bad and add to the cheese factor, but that's fine with me. Cynthia Hutchins, I love that episode. Twisted Sister and Kiss are my two favorite bands. All right. Ken and Satan's Service. This is now one of my favorite episodes from you guys. Your imitations of the band during the bottle incident and Peter backstage hurling insults was hilarious. Great job. Ace, you're a drunk. No shit. What else you got? Oh, man. And then we got we got this totally random, disconnected thing from some guy from some Asian guy that posted of something like, it says a cheerful new year. And it looks like he's posting like a suicide video or something. And then Uncle Paulie goes, I'm pretty sure Young Hong Hee instantly became a Shout It Out Loudcast legend with this.
Young is, I spotted him on a different post earlier today. He is now just, I mean, I get, like, you know, you want to put your shit up, but why do you have a fucking like beheading background as your fucking photo? It looks like someone's going to behead him.
Right. And then our buddy Costa posted something. He found another tweet from him. So I'm going to save the best line for last. So he's posting something about a property. It's like, get in touch today and find more about this property. London's brightest neighborhood. White city living. What are you doing? What is this? Then Costa says, if anybody is looking to live in a white city, Ying Yang is your man.
I don't know who that guy is.
I don't know who that is, but I have a feeling it's some kind of fucking bot.
Kiss podcast.
Oh my God. Anyways, that's Twitter. What do you got?
Let's quickly on the Facebook, you put a picture of Webster up.
Oh yeah.
On the Book of Face. And on Loudcasters, the group page, we have Scott Sunders says, just downloaded the Reels app to watch before listening. Never heard of this show. LP Storlino says the reenactment of the bottle fight has absolutely floored me. Maybe the hardest times I've laughed on the show. And then you jumped in with unintentional comedies off the charts with those reenactments. And he wrote, I hope Steroid Stanley and Mongoloid Gene are permanent fixtures.
Mongoloid. Nice.
LP Storlino is on a fucking continuous roll. Tom sent something to me earlier in the week, and he's like, I think he might be the first inductee to the Shout It Out Loudcast Virtual Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we might have to have, like, we'll see what happens with the holiday season. We might have a Shout It Out Loudcast Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Hall of Fame will have like 5 inductees the first year or something.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Maybe one celebrity guest, and then a couple would be like podcaster friends, and then fucking Hall of Fame listeners.
And instead of getting like a gold jacket or something, you get like a 2 liter of mellow yellow.
And and a copy of the last Tracy Lords porn.
Oh, careful, Zeus.
Yeah. Well,
Careful.
when the one that she did with the Stonehill legendary John Holmes Greatest Hits video, where I don't know, I'm sure, I think it was her that was getting bombarded with like 15 cocks in her face, and she was going, I was drunk off of cock.
Tracy, I Love You, the Academy Award winning adult film.
Oh, another legend. How about Tori, what's her face?
Oh, Tori Wells.
Oh.
We've sung the praises of Chameleon. Oh. You think you've seen great movies. You talk about Citizen Kane and The Godfather. You haven't seen anything until you see Chameleon.
And fucking the hose fucking squirts by Peter North.
The Peter North Stars.
The Peter North Stars. Undefeated floor hockey team. The Peter North Stars.
The greatest sports team name in history. The Peter North Stars.
Oh, he fucking Pittsburgh platted fucking Tori Wells.
I told you he could have.
And what was the blonde's name again?
Victoria Paris. Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Dude, even our porn stars are dying of old age.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's too bad. I think Tori Wells is still with us. I don't know how, but
I think she's still wiping off some of the sperm from her eyes.
Yeah, the poor thing looks like a glazed donut, for God's sakes. You can't.
Peter North destroyed her.
How does this happen? How do we go from point A to point Z in the middle of a comment?
That might go into Shout It Out Loudcast video Hall of Fame moments.
Maybe we'll have like a celebrity inductee, and it'll just be the cast of Chameleon.
We'll have a like MTV Movie Awards, Best Kiss, Best Load Explosion.
What sort of things have you done work-wise?
In Kazakhstan, I was a make ice. I was a gypsy catcher. Also, I work with animals.
Animals, in what respect?
I make them have explosion for liquid for make more animals.
Oh, okay.
I specialty is a camel. I can pull a camel for in less than 20 minutes for him to have a liquid explosion.
Okay.
I can do goat very easy in less than a minute, finger in anus.
Okay.
Easy.
Peter North with the explosion on fucking Christy Cannons and
it's Canyon. Don't mess up.
I know it is.
It's my girl.
And fucking Tori Wells there, whatever it was.
Welcome, new listeners.
Yeah. To Pornhub podcast.
Oh, God.
Unbelievable. Anyway.
This is what happens. I love it.
Yes. Stephen Wood asked if anyone could watch in Australia. So if somebody can, please respond to Stephen Wood.
Yes,
I don't know how you could watch it. Now, over on YouTube, Pete Staros. I noticed that every time Zeus does the over on YouTube, Tom always cracks up very quietly.
Yes.
Also, do you guys listen to heavier stuff like Megadeth, Slayer, Cannibal Corpse, Cradle of Filth to do an album review?
Okay, I'll answer that. I like a little bit of Megadeth. That's about it. I don't like Slayer. Cannibal Corpse is hilarious because they're just horrible. Cradle of Filth, they have a cool band name. They're horrible. We don't get that hard and heavy on ARC. I like some Anthrax. I like some Megadeth. That's about it. I like Pantera. I don't know if any of them are ever going to see ARC, but we'll see what happens.
I just look at it as like there's so many shit that me personally wants to get to. I can tell you right now, I would never pick any of those. I don't even have any albums by any of those bands. I don't have a greatest hits by any of those bands. I never even heard of two of those bands.
Right.
So I won't pick them. I don't know if you got Tom's kind of answer. I can tell you right now, the chances of Sonny picking them are nil.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
no, you heard bad English. He ain't listening to Cradle of Filth.
Yeah, that's not happening. Anyways, Patent Diorama. Haven't seen this show, but sounds like they were trying to cash in on A&E's biography. I would like to see it just for those reenactments. Maybe one of those dudes will get a part in the official biopic. Great episode, guys. You guys are a lot funnier than Three Sides.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Thank you. Appreciate that. But, yeah, thanks.
And if you see the watermark on the side, yeah, well, if I get a poster or two, I'll go to my Facebook group.
Couple posters. I'll be on the cruise signing my posters.
Yeah. I don't like it. You're out of here.
Yeah. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but fuck off at the same time.
Tom, what do you got?
Let's see. We're going to go through a couple of emails here. We got an email that is not episode specific, but it is from a fellow Patreon, and he just wanted to let us know that he was going to see Kiss for the first time. And he was excited to let us know. He said that Tommy was amazing. Gene was a beast. Eric had some pep. Paul was good. But sometimes it didn't even seem like he was playing the guitar. Overall, best concert I've ever seen. Brian, that's awesome. Glad you had a great time. Good stuff. And that's funny that you say that, because this is a good this is a good segue to a comment me and Zeus were talking about before we hit record. Somebody on the Loudcasters Facebook group goes, going to see Kiss tonight. And I'm not really excited. And I think it's because I've been listening to Shout It Out Loudcast. Don't say that. Don't say that. No, look, we're going on the goddamn Kiss cruise. So, I mean, you know what we think of the band. But let's see a couple. And then our buddy Anthony Barone, also a fellow Patreon, sent us a picture of the Painter doing his Kiss painting on stage as the opening act. And then we got an email, a nice long one from Graham Richley. I'm just going to sum this up because he doesn't necessarily want us to read it word for word. But it's pretty good. You know, Graham's a great fan of the show. Always is passionate with his comments. And he does have a lot to say about this. I'm glad that he could see it, and he commented on that. So Graham, thank you for the email. We won't read the whole thing, but just want to acknowledge that you sent it, and thank you for being a loyal listener and fan. So that's it. Just a few emails this week, Zeus.
All right. And then I'll wrap it up right now with this from Mark Stewart. Gonna be honest, I wish Kiss would have ended it midway through their farewell tour, mainly so Peter could go out with a bang instead of coming apart at the seams towards the end. Instead, Paul and Gene decided to carry on and become that scene in Seinfeld where Jerry and Elaine stayed too long at a party while waiting for Kramer to pick them up. Gene and Paul are Jerry and Elaine, and I'm the host waiting for Kramer. Worst case scenario, Kiss 2.0 is Jerry and Elaine asking the hosts if they can sleep on their couch because Kramer never showed up. Where is Kramer? In other words, I want to remember Kiss is the greatest band on the planet, not a band that just won't go home so I can go to bed.
Wow, that is fantastic. Thank you for that great comment.
Mark Stewart from YouTube, you are comment of the week.
Good answer. Good answer. I like the way you think. I'm going to be watching you.
Hey, anytime a comment of the week there, you're going to throw in Seinfeld, you have a chance of being the comment of the week there. So that's fantastic. Thank you. And it's a perfect analogy. It's great. And we appreciate that. So thank you.
Yeah, great job on that, Mark. Thank you very much. And Tom, before we move on and we go over to Kiss World, we like to give a shout out to our Patreon family.
Mm-hmm.
Patreon is the app where people can come, join, and help out the show. They become a member, and there's 4 different tiers. And amongst the tiers, there's different things that you guys get from us. And it's been fucking awesome so far. I can't explain it. It's the communication, the laughs, the jokes, the feedback has been awesome. And actually this week, we want to thank personally Tom's favorite, Michael Murphy, is a new Patreon subscriber. Michael is a big fan of the Eagles, and Tom, my host. Well, he's a fan of one of those two. And Michael, we really appreciate this. Thank you very much for joining. We hope you like it. We think that you'll have a blast with the group, and we can't thank you enough.
Absolutely. Thank you to everybody, all the patrons. Every week, you guys are amazing, and from the bottom of our hearts, filled with gratitude for everything that you guys do. And a special shout out to this week to Michael Murphy. Thank you for joining the Patreon family. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah,
Michael.
The great part about it is Tom, before the cruise, we wanted to make sure that everybody that that got their stickers and T-shirts and all that stuff.
Yep.
And a lot of people are telling everybody, yeah, I got it, and they're posting them online. We love when you guys do that. Thank you. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Really appreciate it, and we love our Patreon family.
Absolutely. No, it's great. You guys get that stuff. Share it, whether you're buying it or you're getting it as being a Patreon member. Share it online. It's great for us to see. And it's great for other people to see the cool stuff that's out there.
Yeah, we love that when you guys do that. So if you get a Shout Out Loudcast T-shirt, album review crew T-shirt from Click T Shop, we have our link everywhere. We always put it on the episodes. If you're looking for a Shout Out Loudcast shirt of any kind, please, if you get it, tag us and put it online. We love posting that stuff up. As a matter of fact, Tom, one of our Patreon guys, Scott from Australia, just sent us a nice long email. Mostly it's a question, but
yep.
I just want to acknowledge Scott, who's a blast. We're like, Scott, what's the address in Australia? It's like, it's going to cost you more to ship it than the stickers are. I'm like, what's the address in Australia?
I'm the one asking the questions.
Yeah. If I like your answers, then we okay. Well, if this work is not your son, right? Because last night I fucked them up good. You hear me? I fucked them up. John. Yes. I'll be the one asking the questions. And then he asks him his name. Okay. What's your name? John. John what? John Musacchia. Musacchia?
Musacchia.
What's your name?
My name is John.
John what?
John Musacchia.
Musacchia?
Yes, that's right, sir.
Musacchia.
The best is the guy. He says John Musacchia. Musacchia? Yes. Yeah. Musacchia. And then he goes, you can hear him talking to himself, writing it down.
It's Musacchia.
You help her, will be you help her.
My God.
He just wants to get the story and that he beat somebody up. This helper is not your son, is he? No.
No.
The last guy I worked with, I fucked him up good. You hear me? It's like, fuck. Anyways, John Musacchia is another fucking legend with us. We love him.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So.
Classic.
All right. Let's go over to Kiss World, Tom. What do we got there?
Okay, so the big news that broke a couple days ago, unfortunately, was some sad news in Kiss World, and that was the passing of Fran Stuber, who is Paul Stanley's longtime guitar tech. 52 years old, died of COVID-19. And according to Kiss, the entire crew was vaccinated. Fran worked on every Kiss and Paul Stanley solo tour show since 2002. He also appeared on an episode of Gene Simmons' Family Jewels, and he also did some work with Heart and The Offspring, one of Zeus's favorite bands, who I can't fucking stand. And also, Fran is also known to, and that'll feature into our Freedom to Rock review here, is that he was known to do the introduction of You Wanted the Best, You Got the Best for the beginning of the Kiss concert. So our condolences out to Kiss and Paul Stanley in particular, and rest in peace, Fran. Way too young for something like that to happen. So rest in peace, and thoughts with the Kiss Army for that. I know there were a lot of people online, especially people on the cruise, that say that he was a great man, very friendly with the fans. So that is a big loss, and you could tell that Paul was just struck very, very hard by that. So. And then in some other Kiss news, we have our buddy Gene Simmons from Kiss. By the way, I cannot wait to see Craig Gass on the cruise so he can do that for us. Gene Simmons, it's not good enough that the Star Child does art. We know that Gene does, and Gene's doing his first ever art exhibit. It was supposed to be last week on October 14th, but according to the news online, it's actually happening tonight, Thursday, October 21st, at the Venetian Animazing Gallery, which I guess that is in Vegas or something. I don't know. It says Venetian, so I'm thinking so, yeah. He said, then Gene goes, I started doodling and drawing when I was 8 years old. As a teenager, I had hundreds of illustrations published in fanzines created by and for sci-fi and comic book enthusiasts. So, I don't know. Good luck to Gene.
He always did.
Yeah.
I believe he has the talent because he was into comic books and horror, stuff like that, more so than Paul. And he's probably like, motherfucker has made that his thing.
Yep.
And so I bet you Gene's like, if he can do it, I can sell to the Kiss Tards. I mean, the Kiss Army.
I'm going to show you how the big boys do it.
Yeah. Hey, Kiss Tard, lay down 15 grand for this.
Go ahead.
For this Picasso-like photo I painted of me and two fat chicks spread across the bed of a Motel 6 in 1978.
And for a lesser, more affordable price, here's a picture of Garfield I drew in the 3rd grade.
I don't have enough money, Gene. Sell your house and buy my painting. You, the fan, need to do that now.
Also, Gene Simmons in the news. It reminds me of that clip where it's like, it was Chris Rock. He's like, you ever see that store on the corner? It can never stay open. It's always grand opening, grand closing. That's Gene Simmons with his Vegas house because he's been there for less than a year and it's already on the market for $14 million. So I don't know what's going on with that, but it sounds like maybe his family wasn't too pleased with the with the whole setup. So that's on the market now.
Yeah. Ace is still taking photos of his socks.
Ah! Did you see? Speaking of the Loudcasters, you guys are the best.
Ahead.
I was just gonna speak of the socks. Somebody in the Loudcasters was great, and forgive me for not remembering because the Loudcasters group is on fire lately. Somebody said, "Wouldn't it be great if Zeus? Wouldn't it be great if Zeus? Wouldn't it be great if Ace is trying to take a selfie of himself, but he doesn't know how to use the friggin' camera on his iPhone, so he's actually taking pictures of his socks instead." Ah!
Oh, and our good friend Mr. Pandemic Paul made a quick, brief cameo, Tom. It might be, and I think, what was the word you used? His worst Twitter post ever? What was it?
Pretentious.
Could you please read that tweet for all of us lucky listeners?
You're talking about the one that Paul did. Okay. So I started eating this awesome, complex, spicy, rich farfel dish and immediately wanted to send my compliments to the chef. But it was me. And it's a picture of pasta. Paul, we know the box says farfel, or however you want to pronounce it.
What would you call that, Tom?
It's called bow tie pasta, you fucking putz. Okay, and what you made here, complex, it is pasta with sauce and cheese. Okay, that's about as complex as a school lunch. So
don't forget the cherry tomatoes, it looks like you put in.
Yeah. You like the cherry tomatoes?
$2,000?
Yeah.
For what?
For a small box of potatoes.
Of potatoes?
Yes.
I don't need potatoes. I need just tomatoes.
I'll give you tomatoes, and then you give me $2,000 for the box of potatoes.
Good.
Okay?
Okay.
I don't need it, Buck. I just need a box of potatoes. I don't need it, the tomatoes. I'll give you the
what kind size?
I'll give you the $300, and you. Okay. We got a deal.
What kinds?
I pickle they. I pickle they.
I pickle. You know? I pickle they.
One of our favorite fucking ones.
You can't say cherry tomato in a sentence and not expect a friggin' 5-minute tangent.
That one has some of the best lines.
Oh my
Anytime
God.
somebody says on what?
From where?
He calls him. He calls the guy. The guy picks up and he makes it want to seem like he called him.
Oh,
Good afternoon, Jack's Pickles and Peanuts Pumps. Who's this?
from where?
Jack's Pickles and Penis Pumps.
The
How may I
poor guy
help
is
you?
so confused on the other end.
The guy goes, Jack's
The
Pickles
what?
and he goes, Jack's Pickles and Penis Pumps. How may I help you? For what? You might need a damn penis pump to see one of them. Jack's Pickle from Penis Pump?
This is Jack's Pickles and Peanuts Pumps.
Just people from Penis Pump?
Right.
Oh,
We are
anyways.
off the fucking rails today.
But back to Paul's tweet. So, and I know that people, look, our show. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. We love the band. We're going on the flippin' Kiss cruise. But the comments here, I mean, this is what I love. This is how I can tell people listen to the show. So King Cusano, who comments all the time, he comments, "It was ace." That's his only comment on the thing. And then it's just, Paul, this is amazing. Oh, I'm so proud of you. This is amazing. It looks like,
Superfan definitely jumped in.
oh, Superfan, literally soiled himself. And then this is great. Some guy goes, "I know what you mean. I do this all the time. Take a look at this pancake I just made." And some kid took a picture of a burnt pancake that he made.
Got olive oil here. Put a little in your pan. And you want to throw in your prosciutto.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Look at that. Fucking old thing looks black.
and then one of the greatest compliments we've ever gotten was JC and Stuart H. JC goes, please discuss this on the next episode. Stuart H goes, "I had two thoughts when I saw this tweet. Number one, oh, for fuck's sake. Number two, Shout It Out Loudcast is going to love this."
Listen, Paul, I pat you on the back, but your hand is in the way.
Oh,
Complex, awesome, spicy.
compliments to the chef, but it was me.
It was me. It was eighth.
Oh,
Is
God.
it ACE? No, it's ATHE. It was eighth.
It was eighth. Oh, and get ready. It's going to be.
Wait.
Oh,
We're
go
not
ahead.
done yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now he has to jump in because you know how Paul is. He has to ingrace himself.
Oh no, what happened?
Or
That-
put
what did I
something
miss?
on somebody else's talent and try to fucking
Oh, yep.
absorb it for himself. Adele's YouTube video. Big fan of Adele's voice. Her tone, control, and delivery of a lyric is so deep. Best out of the UK since Dusty Springfield. Check her out. Oh, okay. Paul, I should check out Adele?
Wow,
Who's that?
she must feel like a new up and coming artist. It's underground that really hasn't hit it big yet.
I should check her out. Paul Stanley said so.
And of course, name dropping Dusty Springfield. Relax. And it's going to get worse. We're going to see him on the cruise in one of those events. Cooking with Paul.
I thought he was going to say the best lead singer, best singer since fucking the lead singer from Thunder.
Lead singer of Cradle of Filth. Oh, Jesus. My God.
Oh,
My God.
We on this Kiss cruise, our friends have got playlists together. We're going to hear so much bad music with Sonny, Steve, and Tony. Oh, it's going to be brutal.
It's going to be bad. And you know what's going to happen? And you know what's even going to be worse? Hey guys, we're all just sitting around, hanging around, having a couple beers. Let me play this album for you. No. Oh, but we're sitting here. Just listen to it. No.
I would rather hear some fucking old guy walk by farting out Love Gun than fucking listen to your new music.
Honestly, the ship can hit an iceberg before I listen to one of their playlists.
Dude, speaking of farting,
Here we go.
Somebody found that fucking awful photo of the Ripper and those fucking jorts that she has got on,
dude.
And she's got like one leg down and one leg.
Somebody had to have told her about us, because that is not a natural, normal way to stand. Like, nobody stands like that for the camera unless you are aware of what's going on social media.
That is like, I want the most free, free tunnel available for it to come out.
I don't want any encumbrances. I want a free shoot.
Oh my God. It is. And then it just looks, they got to put a guy looks like she can shit like a bear.
Is she going on the cruise?
Oh my God. Imagine we'll be sitting there and all of a sudden you got a slap across the face. I'm not the Ripper. Go fuck yourself.
My God, how old are we? Jesus.
This is a fucking brutal episode.
Do we have a topic this week?
We're shitting on everything this week.
Seriously.
I think we should change the title, just shitting on everything.
There you go. Cruise prep. Just shit on everybody.
Yeah. But we do have a title, Tom.
Yeah.
But before we get to it, I got to go get a cork and stick it up the Ripper's ass so it doesn't fucking stink up everywhere.
Oh, we're back. Open up all the windows and fumigate the recording area.
All right, Tom. Tour time.
Yes.
The Freedom to Rock Tour.
Yes.
Right? So we actually, as we said earlier, we actually saw this tour when it came to Worcester. But the tour, as we do with all these tours, we talk a little bit about the set list. We talk about the costumes, the stage. We go through some of the significant dates of that tour. And then we rank them against the other previous tours that we've discussed so far. So the Freedom of Rock Tour was out in 2016, Tom. The whole 2016. So it didn't go into 15, or it didn't start in 15 and didn't go into 17. The tour was another one of these patriotic things that Kiss was into at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember specifically the big thing about this was at some point towards the end, they would bring out the mayor or whatever city they were in, and someone would come out and get a big ass fucking check. Paul Stanley would yell at us like he was my third grade teacher, telling us to be quiet. And then he would read the, the Pledge of Allegiance. Like I was literally back in third grade in the 80s.
Well, he wouldn't just read the Pledge of Allegiance. He made everybody in the arena do it.
Stand up, take your hat off, and we're doing it now.
Which, okay, let's be clear about patriotism and Pledge of Allegiance. It's wonderful. But I'll tell you, I felt like
it's got its place.
I felt like that scene in Christmas Vacation when they're having dinner and that crazy aunt, instead of saying grace, she starts doing the Pledge of Allegiance, and Clark stands up and he's like looking around. He's like, I pledge allegiance to the flag. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, are we doing this right now at a Kiss show? And again, we're being half joking, half serious here. I get it, but it was an unusual thing to see at a show.
Oh, it was brutal. You're being more diplomatic than I am.
Well, yeah.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
You're not going to do a pledge. First of all, a Pledge of Allegiance? Dude, I'm sorry, dude. It has its place. It's not at the end of a rock concert. You just saw everybody now sober up. Put the weed away. We're all going to do the Pledges of Allegiance. Like, come on. It's just fucking like in the middle of a concert, you're telling 17,000 fucking people or 5,000, depending on what it is. It's fucking Nazi-like. Everybody do the Pledges of Allegiance. Who the fuck are you?
That was weird.
It's just,
it was weird.
Awkward.
It's weird because when I think about this, that's like the first thing that pops into my mind from this tour.
This patriotism, Nazism, fucking nationalism shit. Like, what the fuck is this, dude? Am I at a Kiss concert Half the people next to us are fucking shit-faced or stoned out of their mind. They're making us do it like in the way he was like, hey, everybody stand up, take your hats off. I pledge allegiance. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
I mean, it's one thing to come out with the honor guard and members of the military, first responders, and present the money and that was great. And just specifically speaking, they partnered up with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the Hiring Our Heroes program. And Gene said that they had a deal with the Chamber of Commerce. Every single one of the cities that they were going to, they're giving veterans jobs, which means they're getting paid. And then he goes on to praise the vets. He said the band also went the additional step of donating to a charity at each show. They said it was more than just purely patriotism. It was about freedom for the band to celebrate themselves and what they have stood for, et cetera, et cetera. So, whatever. We know that they're big fans of veterans, and they should be. So that whole thing was nice, but
before the concert,
it went overboard with the Pledge of Allegiance. Let's be serious. Yeah.
Do the shit before the concert. Why
I agree.
You have to fucking pat yourself on the back in front of all of us.
Yeah.
Do it. Do some publicity. Show them up. Give them enough respect and time. Give them tickets, because they did have tickets to the show. Because I remember when we would go, there was a bunch of
we saw a bunch of them. Yep.
Yeah, and that's all fantastic and great.
Yep.
But not 2 songs before the end of the fucking concert.
Yeah, they stopped the show for that, and then go into the Star Spangled Banner and then the encore. So it was just a weird setup. It was a weird setup.
Weird.
Yep.
Anyways, that was the other big thing.
Yep.
And then I just remembered, like, this seems to be kind of, I don't know, deja vu, because we had seen them not too long ago with basically the same kind of costumes, with basically the same kind of set list. And, the stage is a little bit different, but, seeing the end of the road tour and then seeing this and going back to one of our previous tours, the Hottest Show on Earth tour, you're like, there's not much difference going on in the last, 20 years.
Yeah, this was 2016. This is when Kiss was kind of just, I think Zeus said it best one time, how can we miss you when you won't go away?
Yeah.
Kiss was just touring every year, which for a band that we love, that was great. We saw them a lot. They did the thing with Motley Crue. They did the thing with Poison. They would come around and they did the thing with Def Leppard. Like, they were touring all the time. And we would just go. And it was just the idea of going to a Kiss show and being part of the environment. But looking back, now that we have the podcast here, you go back and you research and you start to compare, and you're like, Jesus, like, they really haven't budged in, 15, 20 plus years on. The costumes are very, very similar. Stage set is very similar, except for End of the Road. I'll give them credit on that. They got creative with that. Set list, very similar. We're going to get into some set list comments here, because give credit to Julian Gill for his book, Kiss on Tour, 1973 to 2020. The book's over 700 pages long. And it breaks down the Freedom to Rock tour. And there's some quotes here from Paul and Gene about the set list. Very, very interesting, that we're going to get to in a minute.
Yeah, I find this stuff to kind of be like, it seems like, are we repeating us? Didn't we just do, well, wait a minute. Oh, but that was a different tour. Was it? Huh? Yep. You start thinking about it. You're like, well, wait a minute.
Yep.
This is why they have a hard time being 100% sold out. But if you look at the 2 biggest bands, legendary bands out there right now that are still alive and kicking, the Stones, Metallica, both are known and talk about it recently about pulling new songs. The Stones still do the friggin' poll. Hey, what song would you rather hear, this or this? Metallica just had a big article and talking about, like, we're not a nostalgia act. You got to change the songs in the set list. And so I think they were saying, Tom, they had like 60 songs that they could go to.
Yep.
They know they may not play as great, but there's 60 songs they can pull out anytime. And when they do like a 3 fucking show in a row kind of place, they're like, each night should be different.
Yep. Right.
That ain't happening here.
And speaking of where we saw the show, so attendance on the show is very interesting. So we saw them in Worcester, Massachusetts, suburb of, outside west of Boston, big city in Massachusetts. And we saw them at the DCU Center, which used to be known as the Centrum. Smaller venue, smaller than the Garden in Boston. capacity is about, according to this book, it was about 7,500 available tickets for this. They only sold 5,600. So they were at 75%. And I remember specifically at this show, and I'm sure you guys have seen this if you've been to venues where the band hasn't sold out, they put up black curtains up around the top area to kind of black it out so you're not seeing all these empty seats. I remember seeing that when we got into our seats and being like, wow, this is really small. So you got 5,600 people. And that was about the average. It was, there were some venues that were a little bit bigger. If there were some fairs, they might be a little bit bigger, but they were doing around, between 5,500, give or take, for that. They did a couple festival events that were getting close to 7,000 and 8,000, but this was not a big tour by any stretch of the imagination in terms of attendance and tickets.
What's the difference in this tour and every other tour they did? The previous three or the next two after this? They're all the same.
Yeah.
So nothing has changed. So prior to End of the Road, there was no hunger for this to be the last Kiss tour.
Right.
And now when we're reviewing the Freedom of Rock tour, you would say Kiss was stale then.
Yeah. Well, that's a great, I was just going to say it. There was nothing going on in Kiss World in 2016.
No, it's the nostalgia act.
Right. Right. Other than the cruise, which was happening in November, and this tour wasn't even announced until April. And it was only 40 dates and it went July, September. So a summer, fall tour. So it was just a way to get out there and perform. And we went to it and we had a good time, but it was just a nostalgia. Let's just tour to make sure people pay attention to us type event.
So think about it. Before they did Sonic Boom over Europe. They do the Hottest Show on Earth tour, which we just talked about, 2010, 2011. Then they do the tour with Motley Crue, right?
Yep.
The tour.
Yep.
Then they released Monster. So that makes sense. The Monster tour.
Yep.
So they play a couple songs and boom, those are gone. Then they do the 40th anniversary tour, then Freedom of Rock, then the Kiss World tour, and then End of the Road. Do you see a pattern here? If it's the same, basically, I would say 17 to 25 songs, the same ones for the last 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And if they throw out one song different, everyone's like, oh, and then after halfway through the tour, that song's gone.
Yep. And for this, they claim that, in Julian's book, he says, targeting the tour at markets that were irreverently referred to as B markets, lower venue capacities, less of a metropolitan demographic. And because of that, the band adjusted their stage show accordingly. Their stage was not huge by any stretch. We'll get into that a little bit more.
It's kind of like the Lost Cities tour. They do
exactly.
About, right?
Yep.
So,
yeah, because when they came to Worcester, they did not come to Boston for this, which is why we went to the Worcester show.
Yeah. So they had a smaller set list, smaller stage, and the costumes. So let's talk about the costumes.
Okay, go ahead.
I think we did already on the Hottest Show on Earth.
Yeah. Between the Hottest Show on Earth, the Freedom to Rock tour, and the current End of the Road tour,
basically the same.
The only big difference for me is this is probably because I'm a Gene guy. Gene right now in the End of the Road does not have spikes on his armor. He had spikes in this. There's a couple very subtle differences to the breastplate and some of the
like
shins.
the stitching.
Yeah. Paul's boots are a little bit different. There's some subtle differences to Tommy's V that he's wearing, but it's basically the same stuff.
Yeah. So is there much to it? Nah. That's as far as the costumes go.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the stage. So, want to give us a brief description, Tom?
Yeah. So because they were at smaller venues, obviously this is 2016, so you didn't have the big pods like they had at End of the Road. They just had one big giant video screen behind them. It would show the Kiss logo, or it would show videos of the band, or, if they're playing a certain song, it might have some graphics. It had, obviously the areas for the bombs and the flash pots and the fire and stuff. But the stage itself, there was a lot of room between the edge of the stage and Eric Singer's drums. They're just kind of walking around. There's not a lot going on. At the end of the show, after they do the thing with the Pledge of Allegiance and the Star Spangled Banner, there's some platforms that kind of go out and lift over to the crowd. Eric Singer has the drum riser. But it's a fairly simple stage set, which I don't mind. I've said before, sometimes there's too much going on. Kiss is a visual band. I want to pay attention to the four members. don't like to be overwhelmed with a lot of other stuff. I like the members with maybe some video, the big kiss sign, maybe some, obviously the bombs and the fire. So I didn't have a problem with this stage show. It's a little bit different than the hottest show on earth, which had the kiss sign in the middle and then video screens on the side. So I didn't have a problem with this setup.
So this one had like metallic, like, I don't know if they're speakers, but metallic, like a stage setting.
Yep.
And like, it became like a circular thing for Eric's drums. And then they had the arms. And at the end, the riser would go up. At one point, the three of them are Star Spangled Banner go up. But then at the end, when they rock and roll all night, Tommy and Gene would come out.
Yep.
And the confetti would fall and all that shit was going on.
Yep. So it was, it's not bad. I mean, for a small venue, and the DCU Center is small, and I'm sure people listening were on this tour and saw this. It wasn't bad. I thought it was good. And my memories of this show are pretty positive memories of the show. I mean, it was a good crowd. It was a fun crowd. I mean, granted, it wasn't very big, but I mean, I remember walking away from it, enjoying ourselves. I remember one of the things that stuck out for me, and I remember us commenting, was that the Dead Daisies opened up for them, and the Dead Daisies sounded fucking fantastic. I remember that. We're like, holy shit, these guys sound excellent. So that was a nice opening. They didn't have a friggin' painter. They actually had a rock band.
Yeah, they originally started the tour with Caleb Johnson, who was American Idol winner, apparently, up until like the middle of the tour, August 8th. And then the Dead Daisies open up on the next tour, next date, I think it's August 10th. So those are the two main things. In the meanwhile, other tours were having like combination of major artists, or like they're doing now, like someone would have a real strong backing band as their opener. One of them, was Def Leppard, who we saw previous to this with Kiss.
Yep.
Then Def Leppard came back and they had REO Speedwagon and Tesla open up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we like the Dead Daisies, but the Dead Daisies ain't drawing shit compared to those other two artists. So this is the kind of thing that Kiss was doing even back then. I mean, if you think about it, who were the last real big band that Kiss took out with them? Is it Buck Cherry?
David Lee Roth.
For fucking 5 shows? I mean, come on.
Right.
I'm saying, seriously.
No, you're right.
All these other artists were adding like decent opening bands or legendary bands.
Well, some of them,
no, we're not paying anybody.
Yeah, and some of them will co-headline, like you said. They did Poison, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, like contemporary. They're contemporaries, and those shows were fun because the crowds were energized because you were seeing it was like a co-headlining show. They're not doing that.
No, and that's the sad thing.
Yep.
So we talked about the stage. We've talked about the costumes. Let's get to the set list.
Okay.
Stop us if you've heard this before. So the main set list throughout the tour was this, and I'll tell you the songs that they switched out. They opened up with DRC, of course, then Deuce, then Shout It Out Loudcast. To me,
Deja Vu.
Yeah. But also to me, I think that's the best way to open up their concerts.
I agree. I'm not going to argue with that.
Yep. And then Paul settles down right after because it goes 1, 2, 3, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yep.
What a way to open. Okay. Then after Shout It Out Loud, they played Do You Love Me? I Love It Loud. They brought Flaming Youth of all songs to bring back as a deep cut.
I know we always bitch about deep cuts, and they bring that one in.
Yeah. God of Thunder, Psycho Circus. Tommy started doing Shock Me.
Yep.
Cold Gin, Lick It Up, War Machine, Love Gun, Black Diamond. Beth as encore, Star Spangled Banner as encore, Rock and Roll All Night.
Yep.
Now, if you include Star Spangled Banner, 17 songs on this tour. Now, one big thing I want to make a point is a couple times they would switch these songs in and out, or they played them in the beginning. One of the songs was Creatures of the Night. The other was Calling Dr. Love, 100,000 Years, Strutter, and I Was Made for Loving You. Beth was actually played electronically too, which was different.
Yep.
It wasn't fucking fake piano or acoustic,
right,
or background stuff, but it was Beth electronically.
Yep.
That was the set list, Tom. Sound familiar?
So yeah, of course the set list is the same, and of course Paul has some interesting comments because he tries to blame the set list for being stale on Ace and Peter, that they couldn't learn new songs, so we have to keep the set list the same. It's
in his book.
Yeah,
right?
In his book, Face the Music.
Came out 2014.
Correct.
So we're talking 2 years earlier.
2 years
bitching.
before. He was blaming the stale set list on Ace and Peter's inability to learn new songs.
Oh.
Okay. And then, of course, you got the same things that he's saying. Oh, handful of people are going to know this song as opposed to the people that are going to know all these songs. So he has this scripted, this whole set list Q&A, interview response. What do you think about the set list? So you started by blaming the stale set list on Peter and Ace's inability to learn new music. That was your talking point. You were parroting that. Well, now you're in 2016. Now you're in 2021. Now, which is it?
Yeah, 5 years you've been saying this. So remember in his book, he was like, I had to come up with stupid answers, scripted answers to answer people's questions. So you continued that, but now you're fitting your narrative with the same scripted answers when people ask you, why are you still doing the same set list?
And instead of blaming Ace and Peter, he's blaming us, the audience.
Who? You. The fans.
Yeah.
You suck. It's your fault. I have to play the same fucking stupid songs over and over again.
Yeah, and they say stuff like, oh, we don't want to change up the set list. The set list is great. And if it's great, why change it up? Well, first of all, who's telling you it's great?
Then again, Metallica, who will still outsell you right now.
Oh, my God.
Sell out everything. Doesn't do it. The Rolling Stones, who are fucking a bunch of crypt keepers out there on stage, can change it up.
The Rolling Stones is putting out fan polls on their social media, voting for songs to be added to the set list.
They're in their fucking 80s.
Yeah.
They're changing songs on the fly.
Yep. So this set list thing has been around for a long time. But to hear these quotes and to read what or to see what Paul was saying back in 2014 and then commenting about freedom to rock, and here we are 2021, it's amazing. It's interesting.
Again, we're going to, may come across as the bad guys here. Right? We're not. We're just trying to fucking point out the absurdity of their fucking statements. Simply say, we can't do it. These are the songs. This is what we're going out with. But then they should have said, yeah, we made a mistake by playing these same songs earlier. We should have played some more deep cuts, but now that we're on the end of the road. Because I'll bring up a point, because when we start going through some of these dates, I'll bring up a point specifically on that.
Go ahead.
So looking at these dates, the tour starts on July 4th. Casino del Sol Resort, Tucson, Arizona. Cue the edit. With the 5,000 capacity place there, Tom.
Yep.
All right. So that set list was a little bit different than what they mainly would play, because they had 100,000 years in it. They had Calling Dr. Love. But still, you're looking at about 17 songs there, Tom.
Mm-hmm. Had Creatures of the Night. But.
Yeah, Creatures of the Night was in there too originally, which gets, I think, replaced by Do You Love Me?
Yep.
So they start on the 4th there.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, the next one I want to kind of bring up here, and I think that was kind of funny, was on July 15th in Spokane, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
The guy writing the review for the paper says,
oh, yeah, this is great. Yep.
Paul, who lost his shirt early on, yells at the microphone, all right, Spokane, you want the best, you got the best. Throughout the night, Stanley, in a tone somewhat reminiscent of a nagging grandmother, introduces nearly every song. In the process, he probably says the name Spokane more times on stage than any artist in history.
Oh, my God.
Which reminds me of our episode where we reviewed the bootleg one that just came out, where everything was like, Tokyo!
Oh, my God. Yep. 100 times he said it.
So people are picked up on that even then.
Yep.
That's what fucking stood out for me.
Yep.
July 16th. Sold out.
Sold out.
5,032.
Yep. The Breeden Fieldhouse in Bozeman, Montana.
Oh.
Okay.
Apparently, Gene wiped out during rock and roll all night.
Poor Gene.
How many times has he wiped out in his career?
I know.
Yeah. Over on the 18th of July, they head over to World Arena in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Mm-hmm. Just under 5,000 people there.
Yeah. One of the things that was mentioned in there, Paul is doing his, how many people here are seeing Kiss for the first time?
Yeah.
And the guy makes a point that almost like more, actually he says more than half the audience erupted in cheers. So the guy says, writing the article about it, that's when it hits me. Kiss will always find a new audience. And because they always deliver the goods. So
it's a good
he's
quote.
Right. So they do get new people. I don't know. Is that what we're going to get thrown in our face when he says, see, because we get half the people, they've never heard fucking us play Love Gun or this song or this song. I don't care. How many bands have I seen that I'm like, I don't know this song, or I don't know this song, or I wish they played this, or that's part of the fucking thing. Nobody's going to walk on, I fucking hate Guns N' Roses. They didn't play Coma. Oh, they fucking blow. Like, come on, dude.
But unfortunately, comments like that and things like that does feed into what Paul's saying. He's like, yeah, see, you're right. We are a nostalgia act, but we're also building a new audience every time we come around.
Yeah, but
I'm not defending the set list.
You're having the lasers, the lights, the fucking blood, the raising, the flying across stage, the fucking enormous fireworks and all that shit going on.
Yep.
For somebody that's new that doesn't know all their songs, do you think it's a difference if fucking they played, I don't know, Take Me,
right,
instead of Say Yeah?
But we've said this before. You know, we love to talk about the set list. Kiss fans love that. But you know, okay, you threw Flaming Youth in there. That's great. That's a deep cut. I don't really particularly like it, but you think a new fan or a fan that maybe have seen them for the first time knows every word to Creatures of the Night or I Love It Loud or you know, Psycho Circus. So you're doing a little bit of this for your own good too, as opposed to giving the fans what they want too.
The other thing to consider, Tom, is they only did 17 songs for this tour,
which is interesting because they now, I don't know if that's because the Dead Daisies were a true opening act that were on stage for a little bit. I don't know.
But the other part to us is then that means the four or five songs that are mandatory that have to be played in your end of the road really aren't mandatory.
Right.
If you think of it that way.
Yep.
So that means you could substitute them.
It's true. It's true.
Right?
Yeah. No, you're right. But these are the kind of things I would love to pick their brain and be like, can you tell me why you added Flaming Youth? I'm not going to tell you that I hate the song. It's okay. And, you know, it's fine. I mean, you know, they played it when we saw them, which was great.
It's not on any fucking compilation. It was never a hit or anything. I can see if they said King of the Nighttime World. So then let's go over to July 29th, or they're at Cheyenne Frontier Day Arena, Cheyenne, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Reported audience, 25,000.
I don't understand that. The only thing I can think of, here we go. The capacity figure comes from Florida Georgia Line's 2016 event closing on July 30th. The arena technically has a seating capacity of 19,000. So I don't even understand what the hell that means. So was there 19,000 or 25,000?
I don't know. But I like that the guy that comments on this and says, Eric Singer's a great talent. Strong background vocal harmonies really saved Paul throughout the show.
Mm-hmm. And that was in 2016. Yep.
Over on August 1st in Mankato, Minnesota at the Verizon Wireless Center.
Yep.
Paul points out, did you see this part?
I did. Go ahead.
As Paul Stanley pointed out, The music is live and the singing is real. So why do you change?
Why do you say that though?
But why are you saying that the music is live and the singing is real? Is the singing not live?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why are you saying that? Like, why would you why would you say that and draw attention to that so that people like me and you can be like, what did you just say?
They were talking about lip singing back then.
Of course they were.
So if the music is live and the singing is real, that's two different descriptions.
That is right. Because the singing can be real, but it can be tracks.
Yeah, exactly. I really did that 2 weeks ago. I sang that.
Oh, no, that's real. Yeah, that's real. It's just from last month.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I read that. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yep.
And then they talk about like the bathroom break excuse for when Flaming Youth comes on. I'll be honest. I mean, we'll get to it when we get to our tour and we'll talk about it. I should just hold off on that. August 2nd, they did a charity event, apparently a private home in Lake Minnetonka, Minnesota, Tom, and 900 people there. In Kiss, Gene Simmons donated $100,000. And then he quickly turned around. That was for cameras. I'd like my check back. Oh, that's very nice of Gene.
The other envelope has 100. Keep that one.
Keep the Monopoly money. I signed it. That's worth something.
Now, for that charity event, they played Got to Choose.
Yes.
Yep.
Imagine if they said to you, we're going to play 6 songs, and one of them was a Star Spangled Banner. That counts. You know the part where I go, oh, yeah, that's another.
God, please. Unbelievable. The Rockets' Red Glare. Oh, yeah.
That's another.
Yeah, exactly.
You owe me extra for overtime.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And then August 8th, Tom, they're over in Milwaukee, Wisconsin's the B.O. Harris Bradley Center. Apparently, that's the last show for Caleb Johnson that we discussed. But that says capacity 19,000.
Yeah, I'm not buying that because the show before that had 5,000 and the show after that had 6,000.
I don't know. And then you got there's a video of that supposedly on YouTube, supposedly. So I don't know. Apparently, there's a part in this review. This guy must be a big fan of the band because he says, the dumb pleasures of Detroit Rock City, the set openings gambit, overruled the hoarseness, that shaved range and clarity from Stanley's voice, which in any condition has never been mistaken for Robert Plant's howl.
Yikes.
Yeah. So people are picking up on Paul's weak voice at this point, 2016. So no one's really saying too much about his voice now.
Well, I'll tell you right now, in terms of concerts that stick into my mind, this one, pretty good memories, but we'll get to it eventually. But when we saw them with Def Leppard, which was a few years before this, I remember I was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Like that was horrific. That was the one concert that sticks in my mind as brutal.
Yeah, we'll get
real
to that.
bad. We'll get to that.
And our friend Jimmy was like, I'm never seeing them again.
Yep. Oh yeah. He was like, that was horrific. Yep.
Yeah. August 10th, we talked about that. The Reschen and Ashwaubenon, Green Bay, Wisconsin. I know I fucked that up. That's when the Dead Daisies finally opened up.
Yes, they were awesome.
But one other point, the set list that I described in the beginning.
Yep.
On August 3rd, that's the set list that would basically last the rest of the tour.
Yeah, it's the one that we got. And it's pretty much the same one. Yeah.
All the way through.
Yep.
And the interesting thing about that is 6 of the 9 songs on Destroyer are on that set list.
Which is insane.
Which is fantastic. Think about
it. Okay, for you it is. I mean, obviously I love, Detroit.
They're missing King of the Nighttime World, Great Expectations, and Sweet Pain.
Yep.
Everything else is in there.
Yep.
Untitled doesn't count.
Yeah. Rock and Roll Party. Yeah.
Over on August 20th, Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick comes out and joins him for an encore of Rock and Roll All Night, Tom.
Yep, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is at the BMO Harris Bank Center in Rockford, Illinois. What are these BMO fucking BO centers?
I don't know.
Yeah, the BMO Harris Bradley Center in Milwaukee, the BMO Harris Bank Center in Rockford, Illinois. Fuck them.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go fuck yourself.
BMO Harris. Oh, okay. Who's Harris? Why do we know a Harris? Is that from a movie? Harris.
Brian Harris?
No.
I know.
Don't get him started with Sterlino.
Sterlino. Oh, God, no.
Those
two
were going at it for a bit.
Yep. You need to kiss and make up.
Yes. August 24th. Go to that one, and that is at Huntington Center, Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah, and this was the one. This was the one where a tornado stopped the show.
No.
Gene was tweeting, "Believe it or not, a tornado was right over our head. The show, stop the show!"
Kiss played through a tornado, son.
Dead Daisies had to cut their set a little bit short.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was another venue that had about 5,500 people.
But I like that the author of the review said, "I'll take a Paul Stanley vocal with a little wear and tear over auto-tuned artists and pre-recorded tracks any day of the week."
Oops.
Are you sure that's not what you just heard?
But I look right at your face. Maybe it wasn't you.
Wasn't me. Here we go, Tom.
Yep.
September 3rd, DCU, 5656. Two of those people were me and you.
That's right, baby.
75% capacity of the 7541. That was our show.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, Tom, here's some photos from that day. And you fucking text me, dude, you sent me over 91 photos.
I think they're still freaking downloaded.
We had fun time. Remember we walked in and we were seeing all the people in line, the Kiss makeup people.
Oh my God.
We had those fucking wicked photo bomb photos of them in line with us.
It was so fun.
And then we met Gene in his fucking smoking jacket, bathrobe fucking thing.
That was great. Yep.
There was a Gene impersonator there.
Yep.
Oh my God. We went to the show and we're going to be honest with you. We loved it. We were super impressed. We thought they sounded awesome. We were right in front of the part where Paul jumped in and landed right in front of us, shaking his cock in front of us.
Right in front of us. Yep. And that's where our friend Rick and his young son, who painted his face, was there. I think he was taking him to his first Kiss concert. He sat right near us.
Did he? Because then didn't we run into him at the end of the road?
Yeah.
Was it twice we met them?
Yeah, because his son is a Kiss freak just like us. Unfortunately, he can't listen to this podcast. But
why? He doesn't want to go home,
Dad, who's Peter North?
Dad, what does it mean to be drunk off of cock?
But don't forget, you're forgetting another great memory of this show. Buying our illegal parking lot duffel bag T-shirts off the guys that sleep under bridges outside of the DCU Center.
So that's where most of my court sessions go for bankruptcy court. It's right next to the DCU Center. The registry of deeds is over there.
Yeah.
Bankruptcy court is over there. The U.S. trustees offices are over there. So I'm there all prior to fucking the pandemic. I'm over there once a week in hearings and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So every time I drive by the DCU Center, I'm like, oh, this whole fucking city smells of weed. This fucking whole place. Oh,
yeah.
And I think of those fucking fun times we've been at concerts there.
Yep.
And then we saw them at, I think, was it an end of the road there too?
No, we saw.
Didn't we see them one time, or was it this concert that I remember we were in the fucking parking lot for a while?
That was this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the parking garage across the street, we were on the very top, and there's only one way out. So we put Kiss on shuffle, and I remember the list. I'm like, why is every fucking song off of Sonic Boom coming up on shuffle right now?
No, and that's when I started playing a lot of Gene Simmons solo on there. And you're like,
Asshole.
Yeah,
listen to the Asshole album,
Black Tongue, and all the songs. You're like, get this shit off. And that's what I was like. And I think that's when we were like, are we really going to do this podcast thing?
Yeah, and that was in 2016.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
We were starting to think about doing it back then.
It kept coming up into conversation. We're like, whatever.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's the DCU Center. September 10th is the show at Big Sandy Arena in Huntington, West Virginia. That was sold out, 6,109.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. Then this is the embarrassing one. So
yes.
for some reason, September 10th, they finished, sold out. They're like, woo, this is great. They take time off. They come back October 29th on Mohegan Sun. We've seen Kiss there. The place isn't big, but there's gambling. There's all sorts of shit. Yeah, they probably pay the artists well to go to Mohegan Sun because they want the entertainment.
Up, though. Yeah, this is fucked up.
Of 7,413, 3,774. 50% full.
That is insane. That is insane. That's 3,700 people. Yeah. That is bizarre.
So they go to one casino, to another casino. From Connecticut, they fly out to October 30th, in-house casino in California.
Yeah, they go from Connecticut to California in one day. Look at the audience for this one.
2,574 capacity. It was probably a private audience. They probably made a shitload of money.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? And that's why Kiss is like, I don't give a shit. This will fill us up.
Yep.
But I think the Mohegan one, even if they don't fill out, they make good money. Mohegan probably pays them good money because they want this place to bring in gamblers and shit like that.
Yep.
And then November 4th, November 8th, Kiss Cruise.
So they do the show, the Sail Away show on the 4th, great set list. Then the indoor shows in the Stardust Theater on the 6th and the 7th. And then on the 8th, they do a solo acoustic Paul Stanley show. Wow.
Yeah, this is the shit that I'm like. We talked about this, me and Steve Wright from Potter Than Hell. You're paying more money on the Kiss Cruise, and you keep getting less and less and less.
Well, this is great, too. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but I'm saying, where's this set list? So right now, the Kiss Cruise, I think, is at 60% capacity because a lot of the non-Americans can't come onto the cruise. So it's not even full. Better for us, no offense, because it's not a full cruise. But you want to fill this thing up? Why isn't it they're not having a Eric, don't say Eric, say a Catman acoustic set where all the Catman sings all Catman songs, or a Spaceman acoustic set where Tommy's doing all the fucking Ace and Tommy songs acoustic. And then Paul does this. And then Gene does this. Is it too much to ask?
Well, I agree, but you're missing the big point. So this Paul Stanley solo acoustic show available for 80 people. Yeah, it was limited to the people who were buying a Kiss Cruise guitar and microphones, and the minimum purchase was $3,000 to go to that show.
Yeah, because you get the guitar.
Right.
Okay.
But you couldn't just go see the show.
No,
you had to buy the guitar.
Okay, but do a show. Are they doing a show now? Is Gene doing a show for selling his bass and all those events that they're doing? They're not doing any of this shit, as far as I know.
I think Gene might be doing something. I'm going to be honest. I haven't really looked because even if he did, I wouldn't pay $3,000 for it. But
then you know what? Instead of Tommy, play that riff. Why don't you, Tommy, sing some fucking of your own songs?
Yeah. Well, Black and Blue is going to be on the cruise.
I don't fucking want to hear that shit. I'm talking about do some Spaceman songs.
Right.
Or Eric, do some fucking, I don't know, songs in between talking about watches. You know?
Okay, well, I'm going to hold off on the cruise bitching until the cruise happens. So tell you right now, stay tuned for that post-cruise episode.
I see this and I'm like,
I know.
And then, I don't know, they call it part of the tour. November 12th, they go to Mexico with some sort of a package deal. It was like, I don't know, fucking Suicidal Tendencies, Sacred Reich, Twisted Sister, a bunch of others. And they have a set list, which is insane, which is basically the Creatures of the Sea set list they did on the tour. Yep. So you have songs like Keep Me Coming, Radioactive, Wouldn't You Like to Know Me, Rock and Roll Hell.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was kind of interesting. And they end in Tijuana, Mexico, with, I think, the same set list that we've been listening to since August the 3rd.
Yep.
So And then that's how they end the basically the tour, the Freedom of Rock tour. The big thing about the tour for me, my takeaway is it's just, again, you can't look at things with Kiss without looking at the big picture. So when you see this, you're like, if they took away this tour, and I get the double billing they did with Def Leppard, but then they did the Kiss World Tour, like it would have been able to be a bigger build up for End of the Road tour.
I agree.
But Kiss has been on that same nostalgic tour as all those other classic rock bands that no one's listening to anything new, but they're just out there. So did it need to be there? You know, I'm not sad. I'm not upset or thinking that it was a waste. I liked the tour, the concert that we went to when we saw them. I thought it was 1,000 times better than when they played with Def Leppard. But it's just the redundancy of it all. The same set list, the same kind of costumes, the same, theatrics. I don't know. Maybe fucking fly Eric Singer on a flying hot dog across the stage. Do something different. I get you. I get you. Believe me, I'm with you. But the one thing, the one thing I'm going to give them credit for is at least they tried something different with the End of the Road stage, the pods, with the visuals and the graphics. But the set list, we're talking about a tour that was 3 years before the End of the Road tour started, 2016, and the set list is literally 99% identical. Like you didn't, and I hate, I don't want to use the word complacent or lazy, but when you do that, you're setting yourself up for people like us to be like, oh, you didn't even try to learn anything new for the End of the Road tour. You didn't even try to learn anything new for the End of the Road tour. Not one or two, nothing. It's the exact same songs you've been playing because you're going to announce the End of the Road tour. You're going to sell tickets. You're going to sell merch. You're going to have the cruise. Everything's going to be great. We don't need to. And guess what? They're right. But the problem is they want to just rely on, it's a fun show.
And it is.
All right, but it's like seeing the Blue Man Group, and the Blue Man Group never changes its fucking act.
Right.
You've seen it once. Okay. Oh, I'll bring my friend out to see it with him. Okay.
Right.
Let me go see it again. Okay. Let me see it again. Okay. Like you got to fucking change it up. And to them, they're thinking like people that come see us, never seen us, are like fucking blown away.
Right.
But so what's wrong with it? We put on a great show. What's your fucking problem?
Right.
Dude, you know that if 50% of the people are new, then guess what? 50% of the people are your fucking loyal customers.
Yep.
That have seen you many times. Change it up.
I'm telling you right now, I will have a full-blown fucking stroke if we're on the cruise and we're having this conversation. If we're having the set list conversation on the cruise, I'm going to fucking snap.
This is when you're going to snap, when they go, this one's become a classic. It starts off like, yeah.
Nope,
and you're going to go, are you fucking kidding me? On the Kiss cruise, you're playing Say Ya to Me.
I'm going to kill you. You do not treat me like this.
That's when I go ask for assistance to find the anchor so I can tie it around my neck and jump off the fucking boat. I'm telling you, I don't want to have that conversation. So,
but that's the kind of shit. Anyways,
I know.
Freedom the Rock tour, not bad, but let's figure out where we rank this tour. First, before we do that though, we're going to do a set list, Tom. So we know we have the set list kind of set up here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The main set list we've described, and that is Detroit Rock City, Deuce, Shout It Out Loudcast, Do You Love Me, I Love It Loud, Flaming Youth, God of Thunder, Psycho Circus, Shock Me, Cold Gin, Lick It Up, War Machine, Love Gun, Black Diamond, Beth, Star Spangled Banner, Rock and Roll Night. Now, you have the options to add Creatures of the Night, Calling Dr. Love, 100,000 Years, Strutter, I Was Made for Loving You. What stays, what goes?
Okay. For me, Lick It Up is coming out. You heard me. Lick It Up's coming out. Creatures of the Night is going in. Cold Gin is coming out. And Calling Dr. Love is going in. Those will probably be my only two changes.
Okay.
Yep.
For me, looking at this set list, I can't believe you didn't say this yet, Tom.
What?
Star Spangled Banner, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you know what? I know. I wasn't even really counting that, but you're right.
All right, so let me give you that. So
okay,
you take Star Spangled Banner out. What goes in? Or
Strutter.
maybe you keep Strutter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So I would take out Cold Gin, Lick It Up, and Star Spangled Banner, and put in Strutter, Calling Dr. Love, and Creatures of the Night.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So for me, although of all these songs in here, Flaming Youth is probably my least favorite. Just like I left Animal in on the hottest show on earth tour.
It's different.
I'm leaving it in there because I'd like to hear it because I don't hear anything else. You know me, Tom. Psycho Circus, get the fuck out of here.
Yep. Oh, I know.
Gone. So the easier is what's out here that I like better. Calling Dr. Love, I like way better. That's my favorite of those songs. So Calling Dr. Love over Psycho Circus. Star Spangled Banner out, and I'm going to bring in Creatures of the Night, which I haven't heard that much of. All
yeah,
right?
I agree. Yeah.
I'm going to leave Shock Me because they don't really do that much.
Oh yeah, you got to leave Shock Me.
I don't
care
need
if Tom's
100
doing it.
Yeah, I don't need 100,000 years. I'll take Cold Gin over Strutter. The only thing I'm contemplating, Tom, is do I want I Was Made for Loving You over anything in here?
No, I didn't. Although if I was going to be forced to make a change, I would take out I Love It Loud. Not that I don't like the song, but when it live, it's just a plodding song.
So do you take that out for I Was Made for Loving You or not?
I don't. Maybe. Probably. I'm like 51-49 on that one in favor of I Was Made for Loving You. So maybe.
Well, you didn't mention it originally, so let's just leave it in.
Okay.
Let's leave I Love It Loud. So if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
And for me, I'm just going to stay with those three. So Psycho Circus goes out, Calling Dr. Love goes in. Star Spangled goes out, Creatures of the Night goes in. And I think that was it. I wasn't going to put in Strutter. I wasn't going to put 100,000 years. I'm not putting in I Was Made for Loving You. So that's what I would go for. Now, let's go to the tours, buddy.
Okay.
Let's go to the costumes.
Okay.
I don't know. The costumes, these are the tours we reviewed so far. Yep. Spirit of 76, Hot in the Shade, Hottest Show on Earth. Okay. Tom, do you have your ranking for costumes?
I do. I got Spirit of 76, Destroyer Tour at number 1. Right behind that is Hottest Show on Earth because it's a makeup tour. And number 3 is Hot in the Shade because they really weren't wearing anything spectacular, just kind of regular clothes. So,
okay. So where is Freedom of Rock, the costumes going?
Again, it's very similar. There's not that big of a difference. So it's kind of a coin flip. Just because we went to the show, I'm going to put it at number 2.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it above Hottest Show on Earth because it's very similar. And Hot in the Shade, I love that, but it's almost no non-makeup quote unquote costume is going to ever beat a makeup costume for me. So I'll put Freedom to Rock number 2 just because we were there and we saw it. I'll give it the edge there.
So for me, I had Spirit of 76 1, Hottest Show on Earth 2, Hot in the Shade 3. I'm going to put this one at number 3, Tom. The reason why I put Hottest Show on Earth number 2, because I feel like it was earlier, so it would be more original technically.
I got
Freedom of Rock.
Yep, that's fair.
Freedom of Rock, when I saw it, I'm like, it's nothing really new.
Right.
So that's the only reason. Now, again, some Kiss nerd is going to point out the subtleties and the difference, which we love, and we put out the Kiss nerd siren for you guys to point it out. Please let us know. Let's go over to the stage now, Tom.
Okay.
Want to tell us how you rank these?
For me, number 1, I got Hot in the Shade because I was there and it was fucking fantastic with Leon the Sphinx. Then I got right behind that Spirit of 76 tour and then Hottest Show on Earth last. For this, the Hottest Show on Earth stage was kind of weird because, like we said, it has the Kiss logo in the middle, monitors on the side, and then other little screens doing some stuff. This was a little bit more simple with the big giant screen. It was a little bit more streamlined. So I did like that, but even still, I'm going to put it 3rd. So Hottest Show on Earth is going to go to the bottom, and I'll put this one right above that at number 3.
So Freedom to Rock is number 3?
Correct. Yep.
All right, Tom, I had Spirit of 76, Hot in the Shade 2, Hottest Show on Earth 3. I'm going to do what you did, and I'm going to put Hottest Show on Earth in the bottom and Freedom to Rock is number 3.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Yep.
So one more to do, right? And that is the set list, Tom.
Yep.
You want to tell us what you put for set list?
Yep. So I got Hot in the Shade number 1. Any show that opens up with I Stole Your Love is going to be tough to beat. And then I got Spirit of 76 right behind that. And then Hottest Show on Earth last right now.
Okay.
So Freedom to Rock only had 16 songs. Hottest Show on Earth had about 21 songs, including, I know I don't love I'm an Animal, but it did have a couple different things. They played Modern Day Delilah and, stuff like that. It was a little bit different, but because it had more songs, it beats out Freedom to Rock. So unfortunately, Freedom to Rock's going last.
Spirit of 76 for me, Hot in the Shade number 2, Hottest Show on Earth number 3. No need to say more. I'm with you. Freedom to Rock is last. 16 songs, because we're not counting Star Spangled Banner.
Yep.
16 songs versus 21, 22. Come on.
Yep. Exactly.
That's the only reason. They're basically the same, except they're missing a couple more.
Yep.
So I went Hottest Show on Earth as 3 and Freedom to Rock 4.
Okay.
All right. Now, overall tour.
Yep. I got Spirit of 76 Destroyer because it's just legendary and iconic. I wanted to put Hot in the Shade number 1, but I can't. And we're talking overall. This ranking here includes the set list, the stage, the costumes, the entire thing altogether. So I got Spirit of 76 number 1, Hot in the Shade number 2, Hottest Show on Earth number 3. We were at Freedom to Rock. We had a good time, good memories. I know it doesn't sound like we were crazy about everything, but you put the whole thing in a package. It was a great night. But even still, it's not going to beat out Hot in the Shade, so it's going to go number 3. Freedom to Rock will be number 3 for me. Hottest Show on Earth will drop to last. Wow. And Freedom to Rock gets it just because I was there. I did not see the Hottest Show on Earth tour. So,
wow. Well, yep. Let me scroll for my stuff. I'll say, for me, Tom, on the overall, I had Spirit of 76, Hot in the Shade, Hottest Show on Earth. I am going to put this last.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I know we went there and we had a great time, but I feel like if I went to Hottest Show on Earth with you, I would have had a great time.
I agree.
So
You're
the
right.
fact I'm not giving it bonus because I saw it with you. It has a little bit of nostalgia, but the fact of the matter is if I went to a Kiss concert and I heard Modern Day Delilah open up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It'd be cool.
I
hear you.
That.
I know.
And plus they played songs like Firehouse, Crazy Nights, I'm an Animal.
Yep.
Right. And they had all my favorites in there. Black Diamond, Detroit Rock City, Lick It Up, Do You Love Me? Rock and Roll All Night. And they I know we're sick of it now, but they had a new song like Say Yeah in the in the set list.
Well, it's all good points. I'm not going to argue with that. Yeah, like I said, I think I just gave more points for the nostalgia.
Yeah,
which I get you.
And the stage, I think this the stage Freedom of Rock was slightly better. The costumes really almost the same.
Yep.
I just find the set list with more songs and I think more deep cuts. I'll take this. So overall, I went with Freedom to Rock as my favorite for the tour. So that's overall, I went with Hottest Show on Earth over Freedom to Rock, but it was very close.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Tom, what we do next is this.
Hi, this is Ed Spansberg of ClickTshop.com, and for all your Shout It Out Loudcast gear and merchandise, please visit ClickTshop.com. At Click T-Shop, you can find lots of Kiss-inspired t-shirt designs, plus mugs, hats, hoodies, pillows, and all new fine art selections. And now, here's your question of the week.
All right. Our question of the week is from our good friend and longtime listener, Steve. He says, according to one book, the Vinnie Vincent album, the debut album, the songs Boys Are Gonna Rock, Twisted, Animal, Shoot You Full of Love, Victim, and Do You Want to Make Love were potentially going to appear on Animalize. Which of those songs, I'm going to paraphrase his question here, which of those songs would you put on Animalize, if any, and what would you take off of Animalize to make room for these songs? This is easy.
I would take While the City Sleeps off and piss all over it. And I would put on definitely Boys Are Gonna Rock. Come on. Yep. And Paul hitting that note. Oh, Paul could pull that off in 84. Definitely. And Vinny would tone down that fucking insane solo.
Yep. Wait a minute. You're telling me you're leaving Murder in High Heels on Animalize?
Yeah, I always had While the City Sleeps worse.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I'm going to actually make two choices here. I'm going to make my own rules here. I'm going to put Boys Are Gonna Rock and Shoot You Full of Love on Animalize. And I'm going to get rid of Murder in High Heels. And although I kind of like the song, I'm going to get rid of Lonely is the Hunter. And I'm going to replace those with Boys Are Gonna Rock and Shoot You Full of Love, because I love those songs.
First of all, changing the rules. Oh, you can't change the rules.
No, there are no rules, Jericho.
Yeah, I know. Like, I forgot. We're not allowed to do that. Eat a fucking dick, Tony.
Here we go again.
The rules. Fucking fake Italian.
Oh, God, I can't wait to throw him overboard.
He tried to do an Italian off with Tommy today. It didn't go well.
Yeah, he lost badly.
Not
he lost.
Not
it didn't go well. No.
But if to go along with that, Tom, of course I would put Shoot You Full of Love over fucking Murder in High Heels.
Okay. All right. I knew you would.
But I mean, if I had one choice, I would do While She's Asleep. I just think Paul would hit that. That fucking opening, Boys Are Gonna Rock. Paul could hit those notes too.
That would have been insane. I agree. That would have
been great.
Great question, Steve. We love you. Longtime fan of the show. We love you. Great question. Thank you very much. And thanks to Ed from Click Tea Shop for doing our question of the week every week.
And Tom, where can people find us?
People can find us primarily on our email at shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Please send us your emails. Like we always say every week, we might not get around to reading every one of them on the show, but we do read all of them. So please send them, comments, feedback, anything that's on your mind. You want to talk about questions, of course, because we read a question every week. And then, of course, all the social medias, we're very active on there. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you can always send us a DM on each of those as well. So please do that. And we're also part of the wonderful Pantheon podcast network of shows, tons of great shows on there, all different genres of music. And as we mentioned earlier in the show, our excellent Patreon family, which we're extremely grateful for. And again, a big shout out to Michael Murphy this week, new Patreon family member. So thank you to that. And as our question of the week was sponsored by Ed from Click Tea Shop, please go there to get your Shout It Out Loudcast gear, your t-shirts, your album review crew t-shirts, and coming soon, we didn't forget, the Zeppelin Chronicles stuff will be there soon as well.
And Tom, people can always DM us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We get stuff all the time. I get shit on Instagram constantly. And it's a fucking hilarious shit. Now, if Tom actually fucking gets the app on his phone, maybe he could get involved in these conversations as well.
Nope.
Anyways, Tom, Archer Smith asked us on Instagram earlier today, have you guys reviewed Destroyer? Nope, not yet. All good. But when you guys will, it will be a banger. Where do you think Archer's from, Tom?
The UK?
It's got to be, right?
Got to be.
A banger? That's who else used to say that? Is that a what's his name there?
Is that a Nige term?
Yeah, thank you. A Nige term. That's exactly who I was thinking of, Tom. Nige Savage. And Mrs. Savage, I think those fucking are hilarious and great. Also want to give a shout out to Joyce Home Services, who continuously support the show, and we always want to tip the hat to them and their hardworking employees. Thank you for being fans and listeners of the show. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. That's great.
Absolutely. And Tom, people can always subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, which is getting more feedback than anything else we have on social media.
Oh, it's crazy. I love it.
We love our YouTube subscribers. And if you're not a subscriber, get on there and subscribe regardless. It's the comedy there is fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Please give us one of those 5-star child reviews on Apple iTunes. When we get those, we always read those online. Those are a big help to us. Helps move us up the food chain and gets our podcast out to more and more people. And we really appreciate when you guys do that. And if you do, please let us know who you are if we can't tell from your review, because we had that recently from, I think it was BBB something.
Yep.
And he actually emailed us and gave us his name on Twitter, and it actually helped us out a lot.
Yeah,
so,
good.
Thank you guys for that. And then finally, I always tell people, Shout It Out Loudcast, our email, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. We love reading the emails, and even though we may not reply to you guys on the air, we do love reading them, and we read them all.
Absolutely. Yep. Thank you, guys. Please continue to keep those reviews coming. They're awesome.
So, Tom, want to leave this with famous last words. You got any?
Oh, of course. Eggs in one basket, but she threw me a bone. She was dealt a full deck, but she likes to live alone.
What the fuck?
Lonely is the hunter. We're talking Animalize. I'm going Animalize, baby.
Gotcha. Flaming youth, our flag is flying higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher.
Beautiful.
How does it go?
Flaming youth to set the world on fire. It goes higher and higher. Don't you know it keeps going up and up and higher?
If it goes too high, you're going to get to the chopper.
Yes, it can't get too high. The flaming youth. We don't want anything flaming, especially young people.
Do you remember that video a couple years back where for no reason Arnold was in like a gymnasium or something talking to somebody and his back was turned and some kid ran up, did a flying drop kick to his back? Do you remember this?
Why did that happen?
That was the most surreal thing. He's like, oh,
stop it.
I'm going to fucking kick the shit out of that asshole.
Oh,
fucking got drop kick Arnold in the back.
Why would you do that? Oh, God. Wonderful stuff.
Tom, almost time.
I can't believe it. Cannot believe it.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Kiss Army. Thank you, Loudcasters.
Guys, thank you so much. Great stuff as always, being a part of the show with you guys. You guys make this show, and we can't thank you guys enough. Everybody on social media, the emails, the patrons, it's wonderful. Thank you so much. And Zeus, of course, thank you, my friend.
Don't forget, if you're on the Kiss cruise, find us.
Please do. Absolutely. Yes. Yes, we want that.
Peace out, Girl Scout.